we're not weak, we're vulnerable without marijuana as medicine. We are a strong bunch of people. We have to be strong to live with the things we live with every day.
In 2007, Lonnie Kessler had surgery to remove a tumor the size of a softball from his brain. He still lives with the remnants of that tumor and the associated side effects.
Severe nausea, vomiting, weight loss. Right now, the imminent threat to my life is intractable epilepsy. My epilepsy stopped responding to traditional medications and treatments. I started advocating for medical marijuana when I heard of New Approach, Missouri. We've collected 135,000 signatures by volunteers alone, and it's just amazing how people will take time off work or use a sick day or miss out on a night out on the town to go collect signatures.
Over the past decade, 31 states, plus the District of Columbia, have legalized marijuana for medical use. And come this November, voters in Lonnie's home state of Missouri will have an opportunity to join their ranks. Well, 3 opportunities, actually. All 3 proposals follow the same basic structure: allow patients with certain conditions to access medical marijuana, levy a sales tax on that marijuana, and use the money to fund specific state programs. Lonnie and New Approach are supporting Amendment 2, which imposes a 4% sales tax on medical marijuana and sends all the proceeds to veterans care. There's also Proposition C, a statutory amendment that sets its sales tax at 2%, and splits the proceeds 4 ways: drug treatment, veteran care, public safety, and early childhood education. And finally, there's Amendment 3, led by physician/attorney Dr. Brad Bradshaw. That bill imposes the highest sales tax of the 3 measures at 15%, which would fund a brand new research institute devoted to finding cures for cancer and other intractable diseases. The institute would be headed, at least at first, by Bradshaw himself. There's no love lost between the 3 campaigns. While polls have shown broad support for medical marijuana in Missouri, the presence of 3 separate initiatives could end up confusing voters and dividing that support. But ultimately, as long as at least one measure gets over 50% support, the outcome will be the same: legal medical marijuana in Missouri.
I know Dr. Bradshaw, I know the folks at New Approach. I know they're in this for the right reason. I know they want to help people. We just have different ways of getting there.
Mike Colonna used to be a state senator in Missouri. He's now helping lead the fight for Proposition C to win out in November, along with St. Louis lobbyist Mark Habas.
And we just decided that, you know what, we need to take the bull by the horns. We need to make sure this gets done the right way. And we can't rely on other folks to do the good work that we want to make sure gets done.
Proposition C is unique because it's a statutory amendment, not a constitutional one. That means state legislators can tweak and modify the proposal without having to create a whole new ballot initiative. Habas argues this flexibility is a key feature of the proposal.
I mean, there's no perfect bill, there's no perfect law, there's no perfect contract. We know that these things are going to have to be revised and modified.
But Lonnie isn't so sure that approach will work out in patients' favor.
Our legislators can come in and they can gut that amendment right away. They can change the language, they can change the rules, who gets it. Our legislators don't always listen to us. They don't always know our needs. They don't always understand.
New Approach's proposal also is unique in that it would allow patients to grow their own cannabis, something Lonnie says can be extremely helpful for patient care.
The home grow option is something that could benefit patients who live in rural areas or patients who are too sick to get out and go purchase medicine at the dispensary. I personally believe that it offers a therapeutic value too. It's just kind of like gardening, you reap what you sow.
Missouri voters' third option, Amendment 3, is on the ballot largely thanks to a self-funded campaign by Bradshaw himself. He sees the medical marijuana movement as an opportunity to help kickstart other important medical research.
There are people who need access to medical marijuana, and we also need more research in a concentrated collaborative effort. We don't have a Manhattan Project type cancer research program, and Missouri is perfectly geocentrally located for something like this.
Bradshaw's filed lawsuits to keep his 2 rivals off the ballot, but so far it looks like Missouri's voters will be making the final call on which medical marijuana scheme gets to pass.
It's another tool in the toolbox, and when all other methods of treatment have failed, this might so happen to be the right tool for the right job.